So I'll tell you here on out, I'm singing a brand new song. And baby, oh, you better listen to it. Love in a minor key, that's all you ever get from me. Love in a minor key, that's all you ever get from me. You don't know how much I've already been through. You don't know the place I'm coming from. I've been high, I've been low, fought the demons in my soul. You don't know how much I've already been through. Stand proud, never backing down. Hard work till they put me in the dirt. So you're gonna learn, you get what you deserve. And I stand my ground, never backing down. Oh yeah. Cut my teeth death on streets nobody wants to go through. Earn these stripes made of lines that can't be undone. I've been high, I've been low, and the proof is in my bones. You don't know how much I've already been through. Stand proud, never backing down. Hard work till they put me in the dirt. So you're gonna learn, you get what you deserve. And I stand my ground, never backing down.
Oh, they restarted.
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. When you thought that I was done, you ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun rain, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my faith, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time.
They're teasing me. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you guys. My name is Jamie, if I don't know you, and I'm so glad to be here with you guys tonight. It's an honor to get to lead this. So, y'all sing loud. We're really just expecting God to do something really incredible here tonight. So I want you just to, whatever you came in with, bring it and let God have it. Let this just be a place where you can just let things go and let God and just have a renewing inside your spirit. If you're online tonight watching, we're so glad that you're here with us as well. Let's get this show on the road. Good God Almighty, I hope you'll find me praising your name no matter what comes. Yeah. Put your hands together. Yeah. I can't count the times I've called your name some broken night. You showed up and patched me up like you do every time. I get amnesia. I forget that you keep coming around. Ain't no way you never let me down. Good God Almighty,
All right, hey, y'all go ahead and grab a seat. In case you don't know me, my name is John Evans. I'm one of the pastors here on staff. I mean, it's so great to be together here tonight for worship night. It's great to see some students. We just want to welcome everyone online. And it's going to be a great worship night in your living room. Hopefully you're standing up, singing along, whoever's with you. We just want to encourage you tonight. My oldest son, he came to me a couple weeks ago as he's getting ready to go back to school, and he started sharing with me just how he was feeling, how overwhelmed, and the anxiety and some of the stress and some of the worry. We just moved out to a new town out in Lago Vista from where we came from in Northwest Austin. And so he was getting ready to go to a new school, and all the things with that, it was just kind of overwhelming him. And I sat there as a dad, and I wanted to just encourage him. I just started speaking some truth over his life about, hey, buddy, you know, God's with you. He goes before you. He's behind you. He's with you. He's a tower of strength, and he's a refuge. And then I found myself a couple days later, you know, opening my Facebook and thumbing through Facebook, and I found myself so much like my son. I started seeing all the things that are happening that all of you see. When you open your Facebook, you turn on your TV, you have conversations with your family or your friends, co-workers. And so basically what I'm saying is, in that moment, I found myself pretty overwhelmed. I found myself feeling, man, just the weight of the world and everything happening, not just in my home, not just with my kids and my marriage, with my job, with ministry, but also outside of that in the community. And I just found myself getting really overwhelmed. And so tonight, I don't know if any of you walking in here can relate to some of that overwhelming feeling that you have about some of the things going on around you, maybe in your workplace, going back to school, and in relationships, opening up the Facebook, turning on the news, and feeling the weight of the world, and feeling the anxiety, the fear, the doubt. And so it was just kind of crazy because I felt like my son talking to my dad, and I felt my dad telling me his promises. And it was such an encouragement to me just to hear God say, hey, I'm with you. I'm cheering you on. Do not fear. Don't be anxious. Don't be worried. And so that was just such an encouragement, because why? Because God's with us. God's going before you. He's behind you. He's in and alive through you. He's here tonight. And so tonight, we just want to encourage everyone to make time and space this evening just to get real with that. Wherever you are walking in here tonight, to make a moment, or wherever you are watching online, to make a moment just to open your heart and get honest and just talk to your dad. Tell him what you're going through. Bring to him some of your fears, some of your doubts, some of your worries, some of your anxieties, and just hand it to him, or just present it to him. You don't have to be some future, more well put together version that Dad's gonna be more proud of. He loves you tonight with everything you have going on. So tonight's a great time to just set that aside, find some space to get honest and just open your heart and worship Jesus tonight. We have a great night planned, and so the band has a few more songs for y'all. So we're gonna stand back up and we're gonna sing some songs together. Y'all online, y'all sing out. Let your neighbors hear what you're singing about.
You are love. Feel free to have a seat. You ever feel like you have just come to the end of your story? I don't know, but when you read a book, when you are watching a show, you're binging something, whatever, and you're watching this stuff, and you know, it just seems like, man, okay, I'm like, this is wrapping up, and then I look and there's like a whole lot of pages left. Or I look and there's like all of these episodes left. And you think it can't be the end of the story. Well, I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. In fact, in a few minutes, we're going to talk about something like that. But I was thinking about Jesus and his disciples the night that Jesus gathered them in the upper room. And he said, hey, look, I've been wanting to have this meal with you, this Passover meal with you. And we're going to do something special here tonight. And I want to break this bread, and I want you to know this bread is symbolic of my body. And I want you to drink of this cup, and I want you to know that this cup is symbolic of my blood that I'm going to shed. You know, it's all of those things that he was telling them, and there were symbols around that. And they started listening to the words that Jesus said, and he would say things like, do this in remembrance of me. And you know those guys had to be going, what do you mean in remembrance of you? I mean, what are you talking about? Of course we're going to remember you. We're going to see you tomorrow, remember? Right? We've got plans tomorrow. It's like, look, Jesus, we're looking at the book. There's a lot of pages left. This isn't the end of the story. And he says, but this is going to be for my blood that's shed for you. And you know those guys had to be thinking, look. This can't be the end of the story. This can't be. We walked away from our business for this. We left our families for this. This can't be the end of the story. What are you talking about, Jesus? And then he begins to tell them that he's going to be put to death. And things begin to click in their mind, although they don't fully understand. And he says, I've been eager to come to this table. In fact, Jesus had to borrow a table because he was homeless. And he borrowed a table, and he brought his guys around the table. And he said, I'm giving my life for you and for all mankind. And every time you drink of this cup and you eat of this bread, I want you to remember my sacrifice for you. And my guess is this rattled their brains unbelievably. It rattled their thought process. It rattled their life. There's no way this can be the end. It's not going to end like this. And as they look back over their time and their history with Jesus, it's so amazing because had they been able to see and really comprehend, but their eyes were only set on what they wanted, which was for Jesus to be king and for them to be able to be high up in the kingdom. And they just couldn't get it. They just couldn't get it. And then Jesus gave his life and he shed his blood. And his body was broken for you and for me and for them. And they all dispersed and went everywhere. And then, as you well know, it wasn't long after that Jesus did exactly what he said. And he came back to life and changed us forever. Forgiveness was born. Salvation was born. Eternity for us was born. And so tonight, as we take communion, what we want to do is we want to do exactly what Jesus told those guys that night. We don't want to do anything different. We don't want to make it any more than it is. We don't want it to be any less than it is, but we certainly don't want to add to. Jesus said that, look, when you do this, I want it just to be a simple act. It's just a simple act. He said this, the Lord Jesus, on the night that he was betrayed, he took bread and he broke it. And then he said, I want it to be a reminder. And he told them, this is my body, which is for you. Do this to remember me. And then, as I mentioned, this is a symbol for us. It's a symbol of our salvation. It's a symbol of what he did for us. And Jesus said in the same way, he took the cup saying, "The cup is the new covenant of my blood. Drink it to remember me." And then for us tonight, it's a statement. This is a statement because Jesus said, "For whenever you eat the bread and drink the cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes back." And tonight, that's what we want to do. We want to proclaim the Lord's death until the day he comes back to get us. And so that's what communion is. That's what the Lord's Supper is it's a simple act that symbolizes Jesus' broken body and his blood shed for us. But the great news is, we remember, but we know it's not the end of the story. There's more yet to come. History is still being written, and it's not over. So tonight, I want you to remember that about yourself, that your story's not over. And like I say, we're going to talk about that for a couple of minutes, in just a few minutes. But we're going to pause in the middle of this night together and take communion together in remembrance. Now, there's a few things that Jesus wanted us to do and that Paul helped us with and put some words to. And he told us, when you come to this table, come with a pure heart towards God. And come with a pure heart towards other people. And look, that's not always easy to do. But what Jesus is calling us to do is to, with everything in us, be working towards and moving towards that. And what that means is in a moment I'm going to pause, and I'm just going to give us a moment of silence. And in that moment of silence, I want you to ask yourselves two questions. Where am I with God? And where am I with other people? Where am I with God? Where's my heart towards God? And where's my heart towards other people? And where we answer that question, let's get honest and authentic about it. Because God is looking for progress. Someone told me today, progress, not perfection, right? That's what God's looking for. So for you, that may mean, like it is for me, that I've got to step back and say, God, I know that I've kind of got this thing between me and you, and I hadn't been talking to you about it. And I'm sorry, and here's what I need to say to you. Maybe for me and you, what we also need to do is we need to maybe grab our phone and shoot a text we've been needing to shoot for a long time that just says, hey, look, I know things haven't gone real well, and I'm really sorry, and I want to own my part of that. Because it is progress towards God. It is progress towards other people, not perfection. And so I want to give us a moment to think those two questions. How's my heart towards God? How's my heart towards other people? And then when you're ready, then I want you to come and partake. And there's a cup of the juice. There's a cup for the bread, and you can take those. And here's what I'd like to ask you to do in this moment is when you take those, and you can take those and go back to your seat. You can step aside and stand here for a moment if you need to. Whatever you feel comfortable doing in that